Hey guys, it's Lindsay. We are going to do the reading for July 2026 for Earth signs. As always, if any of these messages don't align for you, please take only what you need and leave the rest. This is a group reading. If you would like a personal reading, those links are available in my bio. First off, I'm getting something that's saying don't get it twisted. So here's the thing, Earth signs. I feel like this past month people have been getting who you are twisted. So I feel like there's something about the way people are viewing you. Specifically for some of you, it's actually around work. That it's incorrect, okay? Like I feel like they're not seeing you clearly, and I feel like that's impacting the way not only you feel about yourself, but also the job that you are doing, okay? Yes, we have Four of Pentacles, and okay. Because I feel like Earth signs, you look for community in many spaces, right? So we have the Ten of Cups is success, but it also has to do with sharing in success and in community. And I feel like you want to be able to share in success and in community, but there's something specifically about your work environment for many of you where they are reading you the wrong way. Okay, so we have the Four of Pentacles, and it's making you second guess yourself, and or there's also something with other people speaking badly upon your name. So this could be speaking badly to management, speaking badly to others, and you are really one of those people who just wants to go to work, do their job, and come home at the end of the day and feel like they've accomplished something. And I feel like whatever's happening in this social aspect for you in the month of July, it is very much kind of hitting that tipping point. So let's get a little bit deeper into each sign. I'm going to put the general reading aside. We're going to start with Taurus. Taurus just had their birthday, so if you do want the full yearly Taurus reading or the mini birthday reading, please go look on my playlist for that. Otherwise, we're going to get into the July reading around what this energy is specifically in people reading you wrong, okay, Taurus? I feel like for you, it's something specifically around, we were talking initially about work, right? So when we were talking about these cards here, we have the Four of Pentacles, we have Justice, and we have the Ten of Cups. And I had said initially, Taurus, it was about work, but for you, Taurus, it's specifically in a social situation. Is this where people are reading you wrong? I feel like you have a tendency to just say things, right? With like, you have like maybe not the greatest verbal filter, and I feel like this is part of what's coming through here is like maybe you said something, somebody read it wrong, or you said something and it was taken the wrong way. That's what I'm getting. And for you, Taurus, it's more in a social situation. So I believe whatever the social situation is, obviously friends or possible friends or acquaintances, there's this weird energy with this other person or a couple other people now. There's also something specifically with siding, okay? So it may have been something that you said where other people are siding with the other person and you didn't have the chance to clear up what was happening, and you didn't have the chance to speak your piece, basically. Okay, so now is the time in July. It's really up to you to put that foot forward and speak your piece and be clear about it. And this, for many of you, it actually looks like messaging that person directly. Three of Cups, yeah, because it also feels like there may be too many people involved. Okay, so we're going from this 4-person circle to this 3-person circle. Like, you have to cut out the middleman, Taurus, is what's coming through, because I feel like part of this is the middleman is like not sharing information correctly, and you just need to go directly to the source and be like, hey, this is what happened, this is what I said, this is what I meant. If it was taken the wrong way, you know, then I'm sorry, but that wasn't my intention, etc., etc. But yours is very much in a social situation, which kind of makes you feel lost, because I feel like this social group is like a group that you really identify with. You enjoy their presence, you enjoy being around them, you enjoy hanging out with them, and you don't like being seen as like quote unquote the bad guy, or like you know, like being ousted, which, you know, nobody does, but like for you especially, like you really identify with the people around you. You like to have a solid friend group, and I feel like this has been making you feel like Six of Wands, a little bit of the loner in this particular situation in July. So the message is definitely start, you know, with direct contact, and don't take out any middleman, because I feel like if you don't do that, and I feel like you're nervous in some ways, and okay, you're nervous, but like you kind of have to get over that and just like directly have action towards this, okay? Because otherwise you're sitting in your emotions. You have Nine of Cups reversed, and that's very much when it's reversed, sitting in your emotions and unable to get out of your emotions, unable to move forward because you're being held back by your emotional state. And like, you know, I really think you need to be really clear and concise in your communication with this person, because it needs to be cleared up, okay? Whatever this incident was, Taurus, where this person's reading you wrong, or the group's reading you wrong, and you kind of almost have to extend an olive branch a little bit, is the way it's coming through. Yeah. And some of it actually means, so you have the Star. This person might have purposely taken something the wrong way, or tried to get people on their side, because there is this element of jealousy, Taurus, that's coming through. I don't know, you may have something that they believe they do not have, and so they are trying to kind of like manipulate in some ways the friend group. So I just really want you to make sure, yes, because we have the Five of Wands on the bottom of the deck, which is essentially burning someone at the stake. So they may be actually trying to manipulate the friend group, and I don't typically read like readings like this, but the way it's coming through is very clear. They may be trying to manipulate the friend group into believing something about you that simply is not true, Taurus. So just be aware of that. And I think you do need to connect with those people who you've been friends with in that group otherwise, and just be like, try to clear it up with them too, because there's something, there's an edge of a manipulation to this for some of you. Yeah. So you really need to come in the Hierophant with the clarity, with the verbal clarity, and meet each person on their own, and not like the group thing. The group dynamic, I think, is confusing it a little bit right now, and you really need to be direct with your communication with all those involved. And yeah, and like clear your name is what I'm getting for this particular reading for you for July, Taurus. Clear your name. Okay, we are going to go into Capricorn. I'm getting something, I'm hearing Capricorn, but what I'm actually hearing is Cap, and like captain, like leader, okay? So for you, we were talking about things around your money, Capricorn, and the way this is coming in, this instance of group dynamic, specifically around your money, and justice around that. I feel like for many of you, you may be a leader in some faction around your money. So specifically, you may be in management, you may be supervisory, something where you have to make decisions based upon the business, and you may have friends in the business, but those decisions like may affect them. And I feel like you made a decision where it was maybe good for the business, and but it was a hard decision to make. Like you're not there to, yes, you King of Pentacles, exactly, like you're not there to have friends in business, although that is a plus and it is nice. What you are actually there to do is drive the business and ensure that the business runs, right? And you know, in some ways that can be a little harsh, but that's the reality of a working environment, okay? And I feel like in this managerial, in this leader position that you're in, whatever that is, you made a decision where people who were seeing you as a friend, and like kind of also like they tried to sway you to getting you to do things that would make things easier for them in business, not even easier, but like where they wouldn't have to do as much work or this or that. And like it's something where, you know, people have signed up to do a certain thing, and they're not meeting all of the responsibilities of that work, environment of that job, and you basically had to be like, listen, like, you can't be acting like this anymore. You signed up for this job. This is what we require of this job, you know, and like being buddy with me is not gonna get you out of that requirement because you did sign up for it. And that's very much this energy of the leader that's coming through Capricorn. Yeah, so in some ways you might actually have to cut back on that friendly energy, and really step into that management leader role and be like, hey, I'm going to redraw these boundaries. The boundaries are coming in very strong for you, Capricorn. I'm going to redraw these boundaries so you know, like, I am your manager. I am your boss. I am the leader in this. And, like, I hear what you're saying, but you're not meeting the business expectations. And for some of you, Capricorn, the way this is coming to, this person may have thought they could have gotten away with something. This is so similar to Taurus, but Taurus is like a social event more. Yours is definitely a work event. So when you finally kind of like lay down the law, Capricorn, and you can do it in a way that is level, like you don't have to come at it like aggressively. I don't think so. And I think it is better in this instance to come at it in a way that's level, you know, for both you and the business. I feel like for some of you, the person's response is going to be a little bit aggressive anyways, so it's better for you to be level in this situation, because you may actually end up having to cut this person from the team because they are not only not trying to do the work, but they're trying to manipulate you into basically like taking the fall for them, which, like, you know, I don't read these typical readings, but this is the way Earth is coming in. And like, I think like you're one who is very assured of your job. You do your job to the T. Make sure every contract is signed appropriately, every hand is shaken, like, and you're known for being very good at your job, okay? And I feel like this person's behavior is because you are their management, their leader, their boss, etc. Eventually this will reflect poorly on you. So I just want you to know, you know, be level-headed in dealing with this situation, because you may actually have to let this person go. Yes, Knight of Wands movement. So that's the reality, you know. And anytime you have a leader or a management position, you have to be able to lead and or manage, which is not always going to make everyone happy, okay? Because everyone kind of, you know, wants to do their own thing. And that's not to say, like, you know, giving everyone the benefit of the doubt and, you know, paying people what they deserve and things like that. That's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is people who purposefully make the work environment difficult for others by not managing their own expectations, right? And that's very much this energy. So it's like you have to step up to the management. You have to be like, these are our expectations and you're not meeting them. And for some of you, it may actually require putting this person on some type of probation, basically, is the way it's coming through, okay? So just be aware of that in July, Capricorn, around your work environment, and being very clear with your boundaries around your work environment is going to be very important. Okay, so Capricorn, where were we? Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo. Okay, Virgo. There's something Virgo, dancing too close to the sun is coming in. So we were talking about somebody viewing you in the wrong way, or viewing you in a way that's not conducive to your growth, etc. Virgo, I think there's something specifically around you. This may be a romantic relationship, or it may be a relationship where someone wishes it's romantic. Like, you shine very bright, but there's this other thing with you, Virgo, like you're very endearing to people, okay? So I think the way this is coming through is like, maybe there's a certain person, you know, you were endearing to and they read it the wrong way, specifically around thinking there was some type of connection there that is not there. So this is definitely giving like someone who thought maybe there was a romantic connection there and there's not a romantic connection there, and being aware of that, okay? So I want you to just, you know, in certain ways, like, you're very bright, you're very happy, you're a very shiny person, and you attract all types of people because of that. But I just want you to have an awareness around, I don't want to say dim your glow, because that's not what I'm trying to say, but like, in some ways you might actually need to, like around certain people, because like your light is so bright, Virgo, that you attract people you really don't want to be attracting. So I want you to not dim your glow, but have an awareness of how bright you're turning it up around certain people. And I want you to read people, you know, as you're being introduced to people, and like show up in that way and be mindful in that way. And I hate to have you like buffer that and like, you know, obviously dim your glow in those situations, but like it's almost like giving that these people or this person has like an obsessive tendency towards them, and because you are so bright and shiny and happy, that they're having like this obsessive romantic kind of tendency towards them that ultimately is not good for your growth. And like it's almost like I'm getting a hoarding thing. So like they want to hoard your time, they want to hoard your energy, they want to hoard you basically. And you have to be very clear with your boundaries, as I said to the other earth signs, and like this, and be like, that's not where I was going with this. This is not what I meant, you know. I think you just need to be really clear with your boundaries, because it's again this obsessive tendency, which is really kind of strange, and like it does give a little bit of dark energy to it as well. And I don't want to scare you, but like you need to be very good with your boundaries, and very aware of when you are being introduced to people, you know. And like there's only so much you can do, obviously, you know. Some people, it's just the way that they are, but like your boundaries really need some firming up, okay? And there's also something around oversharing and not oversharing with these people, because like they're really paying attention to you and not in like the way that you want, okay? So it's not giving someone with equilibrium, with balance, not giving someone who understands that this relationship is not so much personal, you know. So I really want you to set that awareness, that boundary around this relationship. And when these type of people come in, just be aware of how much you're connecting with them, okay? Because like you should be able to shine your light out in the world, but like, you know, there are those who will try to hoard your light, okay? And that's really the way this is coming through. Yeah, you need the balance here. You need the balance, because you are the light, and you know, these people don't have as much light as you do, and they want to hoard it, essentially, is the way it's coming in, Virgo. Okay, so that is the July reading for Earth signs. My name is Lindsey Rose. If you'd like your own personal reading, please check out the links in bio. Otherwise, I wish you guys well. Bye.